Audio Jungle.
Farmer shot dead in Manchester. A 34-year-old farmer was shot dead in the community of Three Chains in Manchester on Saturday. Dead is Fabian Dixon, otherwise called Permy, who is from the same community. Explosions were reportedly heard at about 5:50 p.m. and the police alerted. The police found Dixon face down in a pool of blood. The Williamsville Criminal Investigation Branch is investigating. SEP says Jamaica's most experienced teachers are migrating. Director of Caribbean Center for Educational Planning, Professor Connie Thompson, has emphasized that the most experienced teachers in Jamaica are the ones migrating. This claim is supported by research finding of study done in 2022 on the issue of teacher migration. Professor Thompson notes that despite the study being conducted in 2022, the topic remains relevant today as the issues persist. He pointed to what he called an unprecedented development this year with the Education Ministry recruiting of teachers from Ghana, India, Nigeria, and the Philippines to fill the gap created by local teachers who leave.
Migration is highest among the most experienced teachers for obvious reasons. The school districts in the United States won't readily employ a teacher who has just left college. They want teachers who are experienced. So we're losing the brightest and the best. And that's a major problem for us. So this is the first time we're seeing the government of Jamaica undertaking recruitment of teachers from overseas, certainly at the scale that is happening. So in 2022, when we did this research, we're talking about it now because the experience in 2024 is confirming that the problems about which we spoke, the dangers we highlighted, the challenges we foresaw down the line are now being realized. So the discussion is back on the table because the experience now is confirming that the findings then were accurate and the forecast was on target.
Westmoreland Police seized over 2,000 illegal motorcycles. As part of its campaign to combat the lawlessness that has been plaguing the parish, the Westmoreland Police recently seized over 2,000 motorcycles that were being operated illegally and in many cases serve as transportation of choice by margin criminals. In an interview with reporters, Deputy Superintendent Mitchell, head of operations in the Western Parish, said that the fight against crime intensified in recent months as part of a targeted operation. 3 months ago, a special focus was placed on illegal motorcycles as the police went on all over in the relentless drive to weigh in the power of the gangsters and interrupt their capacity to network and maneuver in and out of traffic, making it difficult to chase them. So far, we have estimated that we have seized over 2,000 motorcycles across the parish. We are targeting these illegal motorcyclists because we find that a number of these motorcycles are involved in criminals and several violent incidents, stated Mitchell, who is determined to make it difficult for gangsters to continue their reign of terror on the parish. This is a part of the overall strategy towards targeting gangs and gangsters. In the bitter feud between the resurgent Kings Valley Gang and the emerging Ants Boys Gang, which had Grange Hill and all surrounding communities in a killing field earlier this year, many of the murderous attacks were carried out by men traveling on motorcycles. The situation escalated to the point where students became the target of the gunmen, resulting in at least one student being killed, leading to the suspension of classes at both the Grange Hill Primary and Grange Hill High Schools. The police were forced to create a special task force to interrupt the violence producers and restore order in the affected communities. These gangsters tend to use illegal motorcycles as forward teams to check out an area, get inside there, commit a crime, and then leave quickly, stated Mitchell. We will continue to do this type of operation until order is restored. While no data was provided, the police are also reporting that a significant number of road fatalities in the parish are linked to persons driving unlicensed motorcycles. Road traffic fatalities are attributed to a number of these illegal motorcycles, so we are urging members of the public who are purchasing motorcycles to ensure that they are licensed and registered and that the drivers have their driver's license to drive them, stated Mitchell. Of note, bicycles and motorcycles are a primary mode of transportation in Westmoreland, with motorcycles often used as taxis in communities where it is difficult for cars to traverse. Frustration over electricity woes leading to psychiatric issues, says Phillips. Member of Parliament for Manchester North Western Michael Phillips says the frustration among his constituents still without power has resulted in at least 2 teenagers requiring psychiatric assistance. The tension level has risen to the highest I have seen in my own constituency. A couple weeks ago, we had to rush a young girl, 16, to hospital. Now she's on medication and getting psychiatric help because of the stress that it has caused on her not having electricity, he told reporters. Phillips said he is not optimistic about Monday's deadline for Jamaica Public Service Company to restore power to its customers except those in St. Elizabeth. When we try to reach out to JPS, because they are a private entity, they believe they don't have to respond to us as the political representatives. Every day, I have to be sending Minister Darrell Voss a list of communities that don't have any electricity, Philip explained. There are to be more sanctions on JPS than just the 2 million for missing so many deadlines and just treating the people the way they do, he argued. Last month, the Office of Utility Regulations, OR, issued a directive to JPS to repair its damaged network infrastructure and to follow its August 12 schedule to restore power to customers who lost power during Hurricane Beryl 5 weeks ago or faced 2 million in fines. However, on Thursday, JPA advised that it set a deadline of August 31 for sections of St. Elizabeth where its network was worst affected by Hurricane Beryl to be restored. I see JPS now saying for St. Elizabeth it is August 31 before they get electricity, but there are still a number of pockets within the parish of Manchester that don't have any electricity. Partial restoration has been done, but not full restoration. This is going almost 2 months now and these people don't have any electricity, he stated. Phillips said some residents have to relocate to access electricity to preserve their medication. You have people moving out of their communities because of health issues. They can't even store their medication in a fridge. What you'll find is JPS does partial restoration in some communities and just ignore them, he stated. He reiterated his criticism of JPS while pointing out that the government's hands are tied. The JPS have not responded to any, if not most members of Parliament. The only persons they respond to is the government, which puts us in a precarious position because we have no control over what is happening, he noted. What is happening is incompetence by JPS. You can't be treating customers the way that you're doing, added Phillips. He listed areas such as Comfort Hall, Spice Grove, parts of Hatfield, Freetown, Bushy Park, sections of Epping Forest and Maidstone, among others, without electricity. I have one resident who, because of her medication, she had to move out of her community. One lady messaged me saying that they sold a generator that she bought. Now she has to be renting one. And she said she can't pass or go beyond the day renting it because of the cost, he stated. The tension level rises when you fix electricity in a community and because there is a down pole, you leave it and move on, so half of the community has electricity and the other half doesn't. That in itself causes a lot of tension on residents and the community itself. He believed JPS response is an indication that the company was not adequately prepared for the hurricane season. It just shows that JPS was not ready for a hurricane. Just imagine if the eye of the storm had hit across the country, he noted. It is not in the hands of the political representatives, but it is now that we are getting blamed for not being able to assist the residents. This general communication and breaking of timeline is not working in an environment like this right now, added Phillips. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.